Talk Live today, and I am your host, Sheila L. Brown. I'm sitting right in the middle of the Own King Shad show. Hopefully, earlier today, you guys had a chance to hear his interviews. Every Friday, he does amazing interviews with local artists. I don't know how many other stations in the city of Buffalo is really tapping on local artists, but King Shad does such an amazing job for that. But I want to steer the ship a little bit today. We had some wonderful big announcements in the city of Buffalo, and if you guys have not had a chance to be at the press conference, I have in the studio with me Miss Hope Knight and Miss Valerie Wright. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. It's terrific to be here.
How are both of you guys? Are
Terrific.
you're making it through the cold a little bit? Because I know you're coming from upstate New York. How is it making it through the cold today?
Well, listen, I brought my warmest coat.
Come on.
I'm good.
That's it. I tell people we can do it, right? We can do it. Well, I want to talk a little bit. Ms. Knight, Miss Kathy Hochul announced she is nominating you as the next president and CEO of Empire State Development. So I want to say congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I
Congratulations.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in place for about a year and a few months. I started back in November of 2021, and I got to Buffalo very shortly after that to visit. So I've been coming back and forth this entire year.
Thank you for that. You're doing great work, especially with MWBEs. I'm real passionate about that because I had a chance to become an MWBE, and that's almost like getting a PhD. That was such a process, but at the end of the process, the reward was really great for me. So that's one of the things in my career, owning the radio station, that I'm really, really proud that I did finish that. Because there was a few times when I wanted to say, you know what, I can't do no more of this paperwork. But so kudos to you guys for looking out for MWBEs.
Congratulations, that's terrific. We know it is a process, but once you get certified, you have that, and it gives you lots of opportunity to do business with the state.
Yeah, so that was good. Ms. Valerie White, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
I am loving your necklace. Really, really beautiful today. Yes. So you guys were here in the city of Buffalo, and we had a huge announcement that was made today. Can we dive right into this announcement? Because I know my audience who wasn't at the press conference and who has not seen it, want to know what this announcement is.
So I'll start, and then I'll turn it over to Valerie. So ESD is funding a $3 million small business working capital grant program for the East Side businesses in Buffalo. And, we were devastated with the tragedy, as you were. We mourned with you May 14th, and knew that we needed to provide some support to the businesses surrounding the Tops Market. And we announced today that we're opening the application, and we will be receiving those applications. LISC New York is going to be our partner and provide the operations and administrative support. And Valerie can talk a little bit more about the qualifications for the program and how people can access it.
Well, Ms. Valerie White, thank you so much for coming in. With this big announcement, you take on the HIM 3.1 billion programs, this funnel under what you do right now with MWBs and all that. So let's talk a little bit about what you're bringing in the city of Buffalo. And we hate that a tragedy on May 14th had to bring you guys into town for that. But what that says to me is that those 10 precious souls is not going in vain, because now that area is going to get developed.
So again, thank you for having me. Really excited to be here. Wanted to talk a little bit about LISC, but we have had presence in Buffalo for about 2 decades. So we're really excited to have this opportunity to grow further our partnership with Empire State Development, and very grateful to Hope Knight and her staff, to Governor Hochul for putting forth this investment. But LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation, we have been in existence for about 42 years, and we are a nonprofit that raises and helps deploy capital in traditionally disinvested communities to support marginalized populations. So when the tragedy of May 14th happened, I myself had just started managing the office up here. We have 5 staff members that have been up here working very hard over the last couple of years in general, but also just on the ground directly after the tragedy. And we're just really, really excited to have the opportunity to deploy this capital. This is one of a few programs that we've been able to do. Of course, the largest to date in terms of getting funding out to this community. So I can talk a little bit about the types of businesses that on the eligibility requirements. Small businesses with employees, less than 100 employees. We're agnostic to the industry, but they have to serve the local community and be located in 3 specific geographic areas within the East Buffalo area. And that's very important because it's, as Hope said, ensuring that we're providing support for those businesses that were in the area of TOPS. The grants will be between $5,000 and $50,000. The businesses themselves have to have income of between $5,000 and $1 million annually. And so that's the type of businesses that we are looking for. Franchises are also eligible if there are any, but we do ask the businesses to have a bank account so that we will be able to quickly process and deploy the grant capital.
So, Ms. Valerie, we know when this big announcement went over today, and people are looking at the amount of money, the millions and billions it's going to be centered around. What's some of the businesses that you're actually looking for in that blueprint to happen in those zip code areas?
Well, again, it could be any business that meets the criteria that I mentioned earlier. But part of the way that we're going to be able to deploy this to the community and ensure that we're assisting the businesses with the application process is to be working with 2 business development organizations, nonprofits right in the community, the Foundry and the Exchange at Beverly Gray. Those organizations will be assisting businesses with the application process, assisting with our marketing efforts for those businesses that find it a little bit cumbersome to go through an application process. Although this one is not nearly like the MWE one, there are requirements, but we want to be sure that there is assistance for applicants. So applicants can apply online, but also for those that do not have access to computers or the internet, they can work with those 2 organizations, as well as the International Institute, who has a computer lab and is there specifically to help the businesses who can come in, and there'll be individuals to help them through the application process. We also have it in several languages and dialect, and for those that we don't have the printed material, they can go to the Institute and get the translation services from the workers there.
So in the community at the press conference today, did we have any community leaders there that was looking to build business, in that area? Because I know where we sit at here in the African American Heritage Corridor, every day we have someone else come in saying, oh, we would like to open up a restaurant, we would open an art center, anything that's really missing in the puzzle of what's going on here in the corridor. Have you had anyone reaching out to say they would like to open up this particular business?
We have entrepreneurs who are interested in opening businesses, and we have other programs to help them build out their business idea, build a business plan, and then we work with CDFIs, community development financial institutions, that usually nonprofits or credit unions, that provide capital and funding to support entrepreneurs in their efforts to open businesses. So this program wouldn't be for emerging entrepreneurs, it's for entrepreneurs that have businesses already, but we have other programs for folks that are looking to open businesses.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because it's a twofold thing. So these are for entrepreneurs, minority entrepreneurs, right?
That are in the
that
top
zip
areas,
code,
so by
right?
definition.
So we're talking 14208 zip code, 1414. I think it's 1502. That
We have a
particular
little map.
Yes.
Yeah,
See,
we
I'm
do.
from
Little map.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
so I
Little
know
map.
that zip
Yep,
code,
yep.
right?
Right.
So those are the people we're looking for. Now, how do they actually reach out? Or have you guys sent information to them, or they have to actually hear it on WFO or see the press
So
conference?
we're getting the word out. So
Okay.
you see the press conference, we'll have it in local papers. We have local partners that will be transmitting the word. We had a number of elected officials who'll probably have it in their newsletters. So we're just trying to get the word out so that businesses are aware. And then we'll have some folks in the streets.
Yes, absolutely. That's part of the program.
So grassroots all the way.
Grassroots all the way. And that list, that's what we do, right? We've since the pandemic across New York State, we've issued about close to $5 million of grants to small businesses. So part of our work is ensuring that we are proactively, and I can say aggressively, getting out to the communities that are most in need. So our team is working with the business development organizations, and again, the Exchange at Beverly Gray, the Foundry, and other community organizations to basically get out into the business districts and then provide that support. We are also amplifying this heavily on our social media outlets. So for LISC, it's LISC NY. We have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, and this is also on our website, which is www.lisc.org/NY.
So, every 15 minutes we have new listeners jumping into WUFO. So we made a big announcement, and if a listener didn't hear it, Valerie, I'm gonna ask you if you can make that announcement one more time for any listener that just jumped in their car or just turned on the radio. They need to hear this big announcement because this is huge for the city of Buffalo. This is something we've been looking to redevelop that area. I grew up right on Blaine Avenue in Jefferson, and we had everything in that area from Sears and Roebuck's, that whole development all the way down to William Street. So we've been really looking for this to get redeveloped for quite a while. So can you make that announcement one more time?
I will again, and before I do, I want to issue the gratitude of LISC New York to be able to partner with the state of New York and thank Governor Kathy Hochul and my good friend here, Hope Knight from ESD, to allow us to be a partner to deploy $3 million of grants to small businesses in commercial quarters in East Buffalo area and close to the Tops supermarket and the Tops tragedy. The grants will be for small businesses, 100 employees or less, where the grants are between $5,000 and $50,000. The application portal opened up today with the announcement. It'll be open until February 17th. Individuals that and businesses that would like to apply, they can look on our website, www.lisc.org/NY. They can go to LISC NY social media channels, which includes Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. They can go to the Beverly Gray, the Exchange at Beverly Gray, or contact the Foundry to get information about how to apply. There will be individual workers in those two places there to assist applicants with the application process to ensure that they are complete, and we can't wait to get them all and start giving out the money.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. That's right.
Well, I am going to turn the mic over to you a little bit, Hope, because I know you have to get on a flight and you have to be out of here in less than 7 minutes. So I want to turn the mic over to you because I want to say kudos to Governor Hochul, for thinking about this big announcement of minority small businesses to rebuild that zip code in the 14208, 140203 area. So thank you for that. So I'm going to turn it over to you before you jump on your plane.
Yeah, so thank you, and it's I'm delighted to be here. The announcement really was a part of a broader effort that the governor made in investing $50 million into the community in the wake of the tragic events of May 14th. We've also provided investment in the Broadway Fillmore DRI. You know, that was announced last year, and there's some planning going on there. And so the governor's been very focused on providing support to grow the economy, to support the east side of Buffalo. We have other programs, and maybe I can come back and talk about some of those
Yes,
other
the floor is
programs
yours
at some point.
anytime. Absolutely.
But really to help rebuild and uplift businesses and community organizations here on the east side.
That is fantastic. I'm gonna turn the mic back to you, Ms. White. And if there's anything else that you want our audience to know about this big announcement that I might have haven't had a chance to ask you, but I do want to say to my audience, they can go to Power 965 Radio. All the announcement will be on there. So if they miss any of the steps on how they can open up their business and what's the criterion has to be, it'll be on our website too. But I'll turn it over to you, Ms. White.
Thank you, and we're really pleased to be here. Again, Alisk, New York. We are here in the community. We're very excited to be part of this program. We have a number of others as well that support racial and economic equity, removing the barriers to success and opportunity and wealth attainment. This is one of a few things that we're doing up here in East Buffalo. We are statewide. We have support in our New York City office, but we have 5 folks on the ground right here that I said have been very engaged in the community. So we're excited to be part of this initiative with the state of New York, and looking forward to deploying these funds. Again, it's small businesses, 100 employees or less, $5,000 to $50,000 in grant funds. Assistance could be received in completing the application at the Foundry, the Exchange for Beverly Gray, and we're looking forward to seeing all the businesses come take advantage of this infusion of capital into the community.
Well, you know what a way to kick off Black History Month. What a
Yes.
way. This is just fantastic for this region and for the city of Buffalo. It really is. And thank you guys so much. I want to thank Hope Knight and Valerie White for stopping by to make that announcement to our audience. I really appreciate it. Cicely Tyson once said, the path that you are on was designed for you and you alone. And both of you guys are on an amazing path right now. So kudos to you for getting in a position that you're in, and you're remaining true to who you are to make sure that you look out for the community. So I really appreciate you guys too, and I know my listeners do also.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And I say to my audience, and I grace the mic once again and take over the King Shot Show on a Friday. I thank you to King for letting me come in to make this big announcement. I'm going to kick it back to King Shot, and then Chuck Rock will be up next with Miss Terry Davis.